Good morning, students. Let us start our computer science syllabus. It is named as Information Technology. Subject code is 402. We all know that our syllabus has been divided into two parts: employability skills and the vocational skills. Employability skills include your general English that is needed for the computer operation and for your career opportunity. The vocational skills includes the computer functioning, the major MS PowerPoints, MS Excel, all those things that comes under MS Office. Okay, let us begin our session. The first chapter of employability skill is communication skill. It includes 6 topics: types of communication, feedback in communication, effective communication, basic writing skills, parts of sentences and speech, construction of paragraph. The first topic, types of communication. There are 4 different types of communication. There are 4 different types of communication. The first one is verbal communication. Verbal communication, which includes the words, the speakings, etc. Okay? Verbal communication includes the words, the speaking, speech, especially, etc. Second one is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication includes gestures, body movements, the body languages, signs we included. All these things are included under the non-verbal communication. Written communication. The written communication includes handwritten copy, that is a statement that is being written using pen and a paper. Also, it includes printed forms. Okay. The next one is visual communication. Visual communication, as the name suggests, it includes the logos, maps, and the charts. Logos, for example, the signs that we see on the road when we pass through the road. Okay, let us discuss in later. The next first topic is verbal communication. So, all the 4 types have some advantages as well as the disadvantages. Let us see verbal communication advantages. It is straightforward in its way. Okay, so straightforward refers you need not to lag in your thought. Whatever you think in your mind can be put into words to form the verbal communication. The next one is speedy form. The content you deliver to the recipient or the receiver will be spontaneous. Okay, so it will be in a speedy form. Third one is instant feedback. Instant feedback is that on asking a question or on the either side of the recipient and the sender will converse in between each other. Okay, when a speaker asks or raises a question, the receiver or the recipient will answer, on vice versa. The disadvantage. Here it is not possible to keep records of all those speakings, right? We cannot keep the record of all the speech. We can take hint from it, but we cannot maintain a record of all the speakings. So it is a disadvantage. The next disadvantage is emotional barrier. When a speaker is tired enough, he cannot convey a joyful message in an enthusiastic manner. So, it is a barrier. Emotions, the feelings is a barrier. Okay? Second one, non-verbal communication. The advantages includes are demonstrative, language barrier, very fast. So demonstrative. The signs have certain way of expressing its thoughts. For example, if a man stand in front of the crowd and wave his hand, everyone will look at him. To draw the attention of the audience, he shook his hand, right? So, here waving the hands is a demonstrative one. Second one, language barrier. Language barrier includes when a Spanish man speaks his content, an Indian man cannot understand, right? Similarly, if a Spanish man shows his feel of hunger in action, an Indian man can understand. So, here the action, the gesture plays a major role. Third one, very fast. The reach of the message to the recipient will be very fast. Okay. The disadvantages. It is difficult for lengthy messages. It is difficult for lengthy messages. A short messages can be shown in actions, but the lengthy messages like paragraph cannot be converted into actions. Okay. Next one. Chances of misinterpret. There is a possibility for the audience to understand a single action in different way. For example, if a speaker stood in front of the crowd and s- sorry, shake his head, the audience will understand, someone will understand as yes, someone will understand as no, someone will understand not satisfied. In different angle, based on their colloquial understandings, they will understand. So, there may be possibles of the misinterpretation. Next one, written communication. So, written communication is the one how we are presenting our paper to the teacher, like our answer sheet. So, the advantage here is a permanent storage. We need not to miss it, right? Like the verbal and the non-verbal communication, it overcomes by permanent storage. We can save it for a long time. Second one is reusable. The message stored can be reused again and again. So, written communication is a reusable one. For example, a old newspaper still plays important role in investigations, right? Okay. Sincerity. Whenever we follow writing, we used to have some sincere rules like following the margin, having the tab space before starting a paragraph, single space between the words, etc. Okay, so here comes the sincerity. Next one, disadvantages. So the permanent storage scheme place here, it creates a costlier method. We cannot store a large. If we want to store a large, we need to spend more. So it is a costlier technique. Next one is time consuming. So time consuming one is, we can write a paragraph in 20 to 30 minutes, but we can say a paragraph in 5 to 10 minutes. So the written communication is a time consuming one. Third one, language barrier. Language barrier refers, so if a speaker writes his notes in an unknown language to the recipient. If a recipient knows Hindi, if a speaker writes the notes in Telugu, the recipient cannot understand what is being written. Right? So, a language is a barrier here. Next one, visual communication. As the name suggests, visual communication includes what we see. What we see. The advantage includes a proverb, picture is worth 1,000 words. We can understand from a picture more than hearing a words, right? So that is why a picture is more impactful than the words. Here it breaks the barrier of qualifications. The disadvantage here is time consuming. So time consuming here means we cannot accept an image as a hereby go method. Okay, so we need specific time to design a logo or design a specific for a particular message. So it is a time consuming one. It is not a complete one, is the next disadvantage. It means that when we see zebra crossing or when we see school zone symbol on the road, we will understand that there is a school nearer, there is a hospital nearer on seeing hospital zone logos. But it is our decision, it is our own provision to take, deciding this decision to go slow or to go fast, right? It is not being mentioned to go slow or to go fast. It is our own issue to go slow or to go fast. So it is not a complete one. Okay. Third one, it is an expensive method because everyone cannot draw and assign a message to it. There are some specific designers, or else some designs will be sent to the authorities and they will conclude it with certain experts and finalize them into a message, and finally it will be approved as a logo. So there it needs a time, it also need more money, so it also need more number of human resource in order to complete a single logo. Okay, so it becomes a disadvantage here. Next one, so the next topic is feedback in communication. Feedback in sense, it is an element. What is a feedback? Giving a positive or a negative response on what we observe, right? So if a teacher takes a lesson, a student will give them a feedback about how they have understood the class, how they have impressed by him or her, right? So that is feedback. let us go with some other topics here. Elements of communication. So elements of communication here includes, so elements is a small particular particle which combine to form a compound. So here compound is communication. Elements are sender, message, encoding, channel, decoding and feedback. All these 6 elements together forms a communication. Okay, so sender is the one who sends the message, that is the one who transmits the message. Okay, so here and sender is the one who sends the message to the receiver. Message or information here is the message or information here is the raw or processed data that is needed to be reached to the receiver. Okay, so encoding is a method where one form of message is being converted into another form of message. Okay, so let us look with an example. So the sender sends a message as apple to the recipient. The message, what is the message here? Apple is the message. He will encode it into some other form because the sender don't want his message to be an open one to everyone. He wants this message of Apple to be so secure. Okay, so encoding, what it does is it converts using some techniques. So let us take alphanumeric technique here. This is not the only technique. We have many techniques, but for example I am saying, so alphanumeric method in sense A, B, C we have it, and the numbers are 1, 2, 3. A1, B2, C3 and goes on. So here number will be assigned to letters A1 for P, apple P 16, and the next P comes with 16, L comes with 12 and E comes with 5. Okay, so this 1, 16, 16, 12, 5 will be transmitted across the channel. So here channel is the one which makes the message to travel through. If a teacher speaks in the classroom, the message reaches the students through air. So air is a medium or air is the channel here. Okay, when we talk through the telephone, the cable wires are the channel or the medium. Okay, when we talk through the mobile phones, the signals, the analog and the digital signals are the medium or the channel. The message will be encoded. So what is the encoded message now? We have 1, 16, 16, 12 and 5. This message will be transmitted through the channel what we use, and it will be reaching the receiver end and it will be decoded. Decoded in sense it will be again. So encoded opposite is decoding. So it will be converted again to its original form. That is 1 will be converted to A, 16 to P, again 16 to P, 12 to L and E, 5 to E. Okay. Then the feedback will be sent to the sender from the receiver end regarding the information received. So now you get about feedback, right? Okay. Next one. Various forms of feedback. A feedback can be of different forms. Okay. First form is smile. Smile. When the teacher enters the classroom, when he smiles at the student, when the student smiled at him back, he gets a positive energy, right? It shows the students are ready to listen the class. So this is a positive feedback. Okay, next one is question or clarification. Raising questions or clarifying the doubts from the topic taught by the teacher is supposed to shows their attention towards his teaching. Okay, next one is thank you note. Thank you note is a contentment feedback. So saying thank you, thanks for your support, thanks for your message, thank you for your valuable time. These all refers a thankfulness to the speaker. Okay, next one is clapping. Clapping is a form of appreciation to the speaker. The job performed by the speaker is good enough to get the appreciation. By that moment, the receiver will clap and perform their appreciation. Okay, next one. So there are three different types of feedbacks: formal feedback, informal feedback, descriptive feedback, non-descriptive feedback, specific and non-specific. So formal feedback is like one which we give to the speaker in a formatted procedure, like taking a pen and a paper and writing them, dear or respected sir, this is to inform or this is to give you the feedback about your presentation or your teaching. Here you have performed well. So all this formal procedure will be followed is called formal feedback. Informal feedback is how you write to a teacher. So just in a piece of paper you will just write, it was good, we didn't understand, we have a query, we have a problem in your teaching. So these types are informal feedback. Okay, descriptive feedback is one which which says in where it is being appreciated, where you need corrections. For example, if a paragraph is taught by a teacher, I like the second line of your paragraph, which includes this point is so impressive, is a type of feedback which comes under descriptive. Okay, if non-descriptive in sense, I have a small doubt or I have a small appreciation in your paragraph, just not saying that where you need to appreciate and where you have understood and where it is more energetic to you. Okay, this is non-descriptive one. The third type is specific and non-specific. Specific is also similar to a second one, descriptive and non-descriptive, but a small variation is that it particularly mentions something, that is particulate something is said to be. It does not have any general overview. It comes under specific feedback. Under non-specific, a general overview, a light, like while seeing the index page you will get these are the topics, these are topics, and this the entire description of the topic will be on inside of the book, right? So the index is said to be as a specific non-specific, and the particular page of that topic refers to the specific. Okay, good. Then effective communication. The third topic of the first communication skill is effective communication. What is effective communication? When a speaker and a receiver both converse well with their topics or both converse well with their understanding, it is said to be effective communication. Let us go with certain topics here. Meaning. So we have seen the meaning. Next one is principles. There are certain principles which comes under effective communication. First principle is clarity. We must be clearly makes the recipient or the receiver to understand it. We should not use a highlighted language. We should not use very rich language to show our gratitude or to show our knowledge level. But the thing is, our point should be reached to the audience. So it should be under the understandable language. Okay. Next thing is attention. So your recipient should be attentive to what you are saying. They should listen properly. That is how your effective communication should be. Next one is consistency. Consistency refers to the time you take. That is, sorry, not the time. It is the way you start your topic until you end your topic. Your pace, your tone, your speed, everything should be in a regular form. It should not lag somewhere. That is the consistent. Okay. Fourth one is adequacy. So it should be to a complete form. Adequacy. It should follows all the needfulness. Your conversation should need. It should need a feeling. It should need. If I speak something into you in a lectured way, you will not feel listenful, right? So it should need a raise and it should need a downs. Ups and downs should be there when I speak to you, right? That is need of adequacy. A incomplete form should not be there. Next one is timeliness. When a speaker is given up with the time of time limit, he or she should complete the topic in its time. Next one is feedback. Your feedback should be a positive one, or it should reach the sender, that is receiver. If gives the feedback, it should reach the speaker. Next one is economy. Economy refers to the budget, that is your fixed budget of your talkings. So when it goes beyond the optimal cost, it is not an effective communication. These are the principles. Next one is 7 C's of effective communication. It is often repeatedly asking question. 7 C's of effective communication. So first C refers to the control. You must have a control over your talkings. Sometimes we may have some disadvantages, like having laughing at some reasons, laughing at the audience. Like these disabilities, not like disabilities, like some disadvantages we do have. Okay, we should overcome it and we should have a control over it. Second one is conversation. So conversation refers to the, it should not be like a lectured one. Since it's an online class, we do have conversation, we don't have any conversation. If it comes with the classroom, that is a conventional method of teaching, it should have a conversational one. When the teacher asks a question, the student should reply. Okay, next one is confident. The way you provide your message, even if it is false, it should have the confidence level of your tone, your speed, your way of talking. Everything should show your confident level. Next one is competent. You must give some space for the opponent to answer, to respond. If you keep asking question and does not give them the time interval to answer, it is not a valuable or effective communication. Next one is calm. When there comes with an agitation or aggressiveness, the opponent should create an calm effort, that is they should become calm, so that a conversation will not becomes a wild one. Next one is clear. Clear in sense your message should reach clear. As we see in the principle, clarity it comes, right? So clarity is the clear message, that is understandable language. Same thing is here. It comes with a word clear. Your message should be clear enough to the recipient. Next one is concise. Concise refers that not to waste the valuable time of the receiver. If you are supposed to talk about a topic, you should be very short and in a precise manner. Last topic is barriers of effective communication. So barriers in sense obstacles, right? So obstacles includes the lingual factor refers to the language. So if the speaker and the receiver should have a language balance. If both of them are okay with the one fine language, then it is okay. If they do not understand the opponent party's language, it becomes a barrier. Next one is environmental factor. It is a physical factor. Here it comes is the surroundings which helps or supports you to listen to your speaker's note. The next one is past experience. For example, like riding a bicycle, learning to ride a bicycle, while during that moment if someone says I have fallen before, that particular word will be get stick up to our mind and keeps rolling over when we start learning. This will makes us to fall all finally. So this is the thing which shows past experience. We must not remember our past experience, whether we have given a good, if it is a good speaker notes, it is not a problem. If we have lag in our speakings in the earlier stage, we should not think about it. We should have a confidence in ourselves. Next one is cultural influence. The culture which we lives in sometimes becomes a barrier. Okay, so for example, if the cultures like some village people will not permit their son or daughter to go to some other place for a speaking competition. This becomes a barrier here. Okay, so prejudice, the relationship with the speaker and the receiver here tells comes under prejudice. Final feelings is the next barrier. So as we seen in the earlier slide, emotional barrier we have seen, right? So similar to that, feelings is also a major barrier. If we are not okay with our feelings and emotions, we could not convey our point to the other party. So feelings is a major barrier. Next one is personal factor. So personal factor includes the body conditions, health issues, then our situations, then facilities. All these comes under personal factor. Thank you.